tell you what, there has been all kinds of surprises this year. Is it one of those fancy compasses that tells me where the coordinates are to Zone 6 and Northwest 7? Oh! Oh, yeah!
That is so good, Alex and Lauren. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah!
Now you take your master class on
That's on bonsai. Is it
Yeah,
real?
be careful. Yeah, it's real. And
It
it comes with everything you need. There's a tray, there's the rocks, the soil, some fertilizer, a little guide on how to
way.
trim
That's
it.
the
Yeah.
gift of the year. Oh, wait, let's see how that compares to mine.
Oh, I don't want to hurt it. I don't want to. Will I be able? I'll take a master class. Yeah. Oh man, this is awesome. Oh,
Yeah.
a bougie
You
tray.
think it's gonna be better than this?
Look,
That was my attempt.
that was the first attempt at bonsai.
Hopefully this one goes better.
Oh man. Oh man. Careful little tree. And I get to name them?
Yeah. Group.
Not Ava or Ricardo. What kind of tree is he? How do I know?
He is a juniper, I believe.
Oh yeah, those
A rock
are supposed to be
juniper.
good to
A
bonsai with.
juniper. Really?
Yeah. Evergreen, so they stay
Bonsai.
green. Here's your
See, you could get this thing.
Yeah.
And you could order it. Is that legal? You could order it in the mail?
Yeah.
Did you bring this?
No, I had
That
it
was
shipped.
Okay.
I had no idea. I will be honest with you. Obviously, the whole box said leaf on it. I thought that it was for Mom and it was going to be like a little herbal garden or something like that. And so I was like, okay. I had no idea.
I'm glad you like it. We put a lot of thought into it.
Careful.
And the little kit comes with the pruning shears, so you can train it to grow the way you want it to grow, just like a bonsai. So right now it's probably a little bit more fluffy than you might have it, and you know.
Oh, bonsai fertilizer, rocks. I get to make my own little.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a little book in here of what it is.
Oh, I don't even know where to start. All right. Oh my goodness. Do I plant him here in this tray? Or do I redo that?
I think you redo the
Put
big
your rocks-
one.
Well, here's a whole book on it. So,
Welcome to this week's edition of Beginning Bonsai with Dr. Tex Jingly. And what we have today is we have a juniper that is a wonderful tree for beginning bonsai because the limbs are very flexible, the branches. And we're just going to take you through what you're going to do right out of the kit here. So the first thing that we're going to do today, we've got all of our tools, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look for some of these downward branches and some of the leaves and the foliage that is really pointing downward, and we're going to start to really just kind of get some of those out of there, and that's going to really highlight the horizontal aspect of the branches. And you're going to want to do this with some shears and just to start cleaning that up just a little bit, just real delicate. This is still a young tree, and for the most part, I mean, here's a really nice one that we will want to kind of clean up over here. And that's all right. That's good. That's going to highlight that. And we have a really nice sort of sweep to this. I don't know if you can see it. You're kind of looking at it this way. I'm going to show you. I think we're going to have perhaps that's going to be maybe the front view. You always want to find your front view so you know exactly how you want to train the tree. Actually, I believe I'm going to look at it from a front view here. I like this view right here. So you're seeing the back, but I'll show you. And so I'm just going to continue to trim some of the downward pieces and get right back with you, because then we're going to go into some wiring today. All right, we have trimmed it up a little bit. You can see over here some of the pieces, and we are now ready to maybe wire it a bit to start training it. And so one of the things you want to do is you just want to start in the soil. We're going to go about 2 inches in with this wire here. I don't know if you can see it here, into the soil, and then we're going to wrap around the trunk at about a 45-degree angle or so, and then we're going to start shaping it a little bit. And you want to kind of get maybe the length of the tree, and then about a third after that, so you don't have to mess around with the coil too much. So we got our wire cutters, and we're just going to start here, and we're going to go in. And it's going to be a little hard to see, but I'm going to go in just as close to the trunk, about an inch into the soil, so we can get a good firm foundation in there. Okay, and then we're just going to start wrapping a little bit. Don't wrap the foliage as you do. You want to go at 45, but as you do, that will kill off the foliage. So we're just going to wrap it. It's still fairly young, so, and we're pretty much going to go with a technique that goes all the branches with one wire, I believe. We do have one over here we might come back and get. Not really sure. Again, you're seeing the view that I think we want to call the front view, but if you see around back, I've got one little piece here. I'm not really sure. I think I'm just going to let it keep going to a little depth, but we may come back at some point and whop that thing, but right now we're going to let it be, and we're going to keep wrapping this. And you don't want any gaps too. It's real gaps, and you can't really shape it like you want to shape it, and we want to kind of go with the direction of the tree too. So we're going to go in between some of the foliage. We're just going to wrap that wire, and again we will be back with you and show you what a wired tree looks like in just 1 minute. Alright, so we have some of the wiring done, and what we're going to do, maybe hard to see in there, but we've gone up the branches, and we're going to try to give it a little shape. I don't know if you can see that or not. We give it a little shape, and then let it do its thing over the next however long. So let's see what we can do if we can give it a little shape here. All right. Again, I'm looking at the front view, and I'm going to try to go with the direction of the tree to kind of keep some of it. What we're going to try to do is start shaping its trunk a little bit with this wire, and maybe giving it just a little bit of shape. We don't want to bend it to the point that we're breaking leaves or branches, but enough that if we can do just a little bit of shape, and as this thing grows, it will just move that branch in that direction a little bit. That's the theory, at least that trunk. Just a little something. So we'll see what happens to that trunk over time. Don't want to get it too much out, but there we go. And we're going to just kind of go with a natural. Give it a little bit of shape here. And then we're going to see if we can start making that trunk go just a little bit with this wiring. And we want to kind of turn it up and twist as we go. There we go. There we go. With our bonsai over time, and we will be back with you to see if the wiring helped it actually kind of move its trunk a little bit. Oh, the other thing we want to do today is we want to provide a little bit of a humidity tray here. So we've got a humidity tray that we're going to allow some of the water to go out in, and we're just going to really fill it with rocks today. We got a bag already, all adjusted out. Oh, hope you can see that. We'll go down here a little bit. There you go. We just got a little humidity tray. We put some rocks in today. Where it's gonna sit and drain into very nicely. So we have what we'll be looking. I'll show you an overhead in here in a second. And then we want to water it and fertilize. So what we're gonna do is we are going to just about a 1/4 inch around the trunk. We're just going to dig down just a little bit around the trunk. Just a little bit, maybe a 1/4 inch. And not disturbing the wiring, but just around that just a little bit. And we want to take about a 1/4 teaspoon of some fertilizer that will dissolve as we water it over time, about once a month. So that's pretty good right there, just for our starter thing. And I think the recommendation for most watering is just sort of a spray bottle at this point, especially in the winter. You know, we might want to cover that up just a little bit and pat it down there around that trunk. Let it dissolve down around that thing. And we're just gonna give it a little spray. Right in the winter, you don't have to worry too much about, you want to keep it moist, but you don't have to be too worried about it in the winter months. But in spring and summer and fall, you really got to water these things almost daily. There we go. That's probably pretty good, right? This is the initial Bonzai project. We'll see if we can get some formation over the next few months. As this young juniper, a rock juniper at that, grows and shapes, and yet we keep the size.